hate you lot. So you thought you were in for an easy ride, eh? Newsflash. If you're here to avoid a challenge, you've come to the wrong place. We're diving headfirst into new Mastery Camo that's got everyone's knickers twisted up tighter than a Yorkshire pudding on a Sunday. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps channel grow. Right, let's crack on. Right, let's get into it. This Mastery Camo grind has caused a lot of what the fuck moments across the community, and honestly, I'm not even surprised. You got to hit level 400 on 4 ARs, 4 SMGs, 3 shotguns, 3 LMGs, 2 marksman rifles, 2 snipers, 5 secondaries, and a partridge in a pear tree. And then level 500 on gun you want that sweet shiny Mastery Camo for. I can hear collective groan or all casuals out there, and let's be real for a second, this is brutal. This is a slog. But what did you expect, eh? A walk in park? Participation trophy? See, it's kicker. You lot asked for a tougher grind. You whined and moaned that camos were too easy to unlock. Now Ubisoft has said, hold my beer, and thrown this beast at us. And what do? Cry about it. Too hard. It's like ordering a vindaloo then complaining it's too bloody spicy. Here's what you asked for. A grind that requires actual effort. Not this get 100 headshots nonsense where you're more focused on padding your stats than winning a match. This is real grind, forcing you to master all weapons. That's right, all of them. No more hiding behind your favourite AR, acting like you're a pro just cause you can spawn camp with it. If you're not willing to level up a sniper or grind through shotguns, then maybe you're not cut out for this. And I get it, for some of you this is a nightmare. But honestly, what are you here for? A challenge or a glorified stat padding exercise? You're here to have a little whinge? Well, sit tight. This ain't game for you. So here we are, divide between what people say they want and what they can actually handle. You got all these casuals asking for a harder grind, but what they really mean is, give me a challenge I can still finish in a weekend while half watching Netflix. They want to feel like they've accomplished something, but without effort. Get 500 long shots, they say. Oh, I'll grind for a week and be done with it. Nah, mate. That's not a grind. That's a checklist. Now, don't get me wrong. I get appeal or a challenge like get 100 headshots with ARs. It's quick, it feels productive, and they've got something shiny at end. But is that really what we're calling mastery these days? Just rack up a stat over and over again. It's like calling yourself a chef cause you've managed to microwave same lasagna every day for a week. It's a real problem with those kinds of challenges. They turn every game into personal stat grind, instead of team-based objective-focused gameplay. While you're out there in corner trying to line up 100 headshots for your camo, rest of us are actually trying to win bloody match. It's like playing football where half your team decides they're going to work on the penalty kicks during game instead of, actually playing game. That's beauty of this new Mastery Camo grind. It's not about one gun or one stat or one match. It's about all of it, every weapon, every situation. And it's designed to push you out your comfort zone. You gotta get good with snipers, LMGs, shotguns, a lot. It's ultimate get good moment, lads. You either rise to occasion, or you sit there crying into your KD ratio. See, mastering one gun don't mean squat if you're useless with others. That's why this challenge is actually a grind. It makes you adapt, it makes you flexible, and that's what real mastery is. It's not just spamming the same weapon until you unlock a skin. It's about learning to dominate with whatever game throws at you. Whether it's close quarters with a shotgun or picking off enemies from across map with a sniper. So for all you stat padders out there crying about grind, this one's not for you. This grind is for those who want to master every part of the game. If you're just here for participation trophy, well, I'm sure there's a mobile game waiting for you. See, here's the thing, right? Every time a game gives us a proper challenge, it separates gamers from wannabes. It's like a test. Who's here for real fight? And who's just here to dress up their avatar with shiny skins like it's bloody Fortnite? You know what cracks me up? Same people moaning about how this Mastery Camo grind is impossible, that same ones who've been begging for a challenge for years. They cried about COD getting too easy, moaned that every shooter just spoon-fed them XP, and when they finally get what they asked for, real, honest-to-God grind, they crumble. It's too much, they scream. I can't get level 500 on a gun. Mate, it's not even hard. It's time consuming. Look, grind is meant to be hard because it's called Mastery Camo, not I played for an hour to get a shiny reward camo. You want something that sets you apart? You're gonna have to work for it. That's point. This game gave you everything on a silver platter, camo won't mean shit. And I know some of you are sitting there thinking, well, I've got a job, I don't have time for that. Fair enough, mate, but here's reality. Just cause it's hard don't mean it's impossible. It just takes dedication. You're supposed to grind this over time, not smash it all out in one weekend. It's called a long-term goal. You chip away at it, match by match, until one day, boom, you got it. But nah, too many of you want instant dopamine hit. You've been spoiled by games that toss rewards at you for playing like a zombie for a few hours. Well, here's a shocker for you. Those rewards, they mean naught. It's like getting a participation trophy at school. You didn't earn it, you were just there. Now let's address real issue. This grind separates casuals from committed, and that's exactly why some people can't handle it. It's not just about playing your favourite weapon for 100 hours, it's about adapting, about learning to use every tool at your arsenal. You think it's too hard? Nah, you just don't want to learn how to use a shotgun or an LMG. You don't want to master game, you want to take it easy route. So yeah, you're right, it is hard. But that's point. Mastery ain't supposed to be easy. You want to show off that camo and flex other players? You need to put time, adapt and grind. Otherwise, why even bother? Go play something else if you're here for quick wins. Cause this is for those who thrive on challenge. You either want to prove you've mastered every weapon, or you're just another one at too hard crowd sitting in back crying cause game didn't hand you a trophy. So let's get into meter it. People keep mixing up skill with time when they talk about this grind. They're like, it's not skill based, it's just time sink. Well yeah, no shit. That's the whole bloody point. This isn't some 100 headshot challenge, this is a mastery camo. You're not just proving you can aim, you're proving you can stick with it, that you can be consistent, that you can use every single weapon like it's second nature. And that, my friends, takes both time and skill. Now I get it, some of you crying foul, saying it's not fair cause your busy life, work, family, all that jazz, and trust me, I get it. We've all got our lives to live, but what you're really saying is you want reward without commitment. It's like going to gym once and expecting a six-pack by end of week. Don't work like that, mate. See, this challenge ain't about best sniper, best AR user, or best SMG sprayer. It's about being good with all of them. You can't just be a one-trick pony and call yourself a master. That's beauty of this grind. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone. You think I like running around with a shotgun? Nah, mate, that's not my style. But I do it because I want that camo, and I'm willing to grind for it. That's what separates casuals from committed. You either want it or you don't. And here's kicker. If you think this grind is too much, you don't actually have to do it. Shocking, I know, but it's an optional challenge. No one's forcing you to go for Mastery Camo. If you want to play casually, rack up some kills and have fun, go for it. But don't sit there whinging that challenge exists for those of us who are up for it. It's not too hard, it's just not for you. This grind is designed to test your patience, your endurance. It's not about one good game where you went 30 to 5. It's about 50 games where you're constantly grinding, getting better with weapons you'd normally ignore. And best part, by the time you're done, you'll have more than just a camo. You'll actually be a better player because you mastered all arsenal. Let's be real though, time versus skill argument is bollocks. Because guess what? Time is skill. You're learning discipline, consistency, and how to adapt your playstyle to different weapons. That's something these KD obsessed players will never get. They're too busy chasing quick dopamine hits from one-shot kills, while rest of us are out here running our stripes hard way. Here's a challenge to all too hard crowd. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop crying about time investment. Instead, use time to learn, to adapt, to actually get good with every weapon. What really sets Mastery Camo grind apart is mentality. It's not just about flexing your flashy camo in lobby, although that's a sweet bonus, innit? It's about earning right to brag. You know what I'm talking about. Kind of player who's got Mastery Camo and wears it like a badge of honour. It's like when you see someone rocking fully gold AK-47 in Call of Duty back in there. You knew right there that they're putting time and effort and sweat. And that's what grind is. It's a symbol. It tells everyone who's playing against you, yeah, I've earned my stripes. I'm not just some weekend warrior here for quick KD boosts. See, there's something people don't get about these long grinds. They think it's just cosmetic, that it's all for show. But nah, it's so much deeper than that. It's a mindset. It's difference between players who are here for a quick win and players who are here for long haul. Grind shows commitment, patience, and ability to adapt to whatever game throws at you. And when you've gone through grind, when you've used every weapon, every gadget, every playstyle to complete it, you got a sense of mastery that average player just can't match. You're not just good with one gun or one style, you've honed your skills across board, and that's something you can't fake. And here's the best part, when you've got that camo, you've got proof that you've been through Ringer. You've earned it, and no one can take that away from you. It's not about luck, not about one lucky game where you happen to pop off. It's a reward for your consistency, your effort, your grind. You get that camo and you've got right to tell all wannabe sweats out there to sit down and take notes. Now some people, let's call them what they are, whiners, will complain that it's just another way to gatekeep. Oh, it's elitist, why can't we all get camo without grind? Mate, if we start handing out rewards for doing no, what's the point? Why even bother playing if you're just gonna be handed the same recognition as someone who's put in work? And that's what it comes down to, right? Bragging rights. You got that mastery camo? You're saying, I'm not just good, I'm committed. I've put in hours, sweat, frustration, and I came out other side. That's something worth showing off. And when other players see that, they know they're up against someone who's got skills to back it up. So yeah, mate, that's what mastery grind is all about. It's about mentality. It's about sticking with it, pushing through grind and earning your place among the best. And when you finally unlock that camo, it's not just a shiny new skin, it's a testament to your dedication. So next time someone complains about grind being too hard, you can tell them this: if it were easy, it wouldn't be worth it. And when you're rocking that mastery camo, just remember, you earned it. You didn't buy it, you didn't get lucky, you put in time, effort, and you made it yours. And that's something no one can take away from you. Look, we're all buzzing about this game, whether it's smooth mechanics, fluid gunplay, or just the fact that it's a shooter not suffocating us with skill-based matchmaking like every other title these days. But here's kicker. Grind is what's going to keep XDefiant alive and kicking. Now some people are out here moaning, let's go in, why does grind even matter? It's just a camo, who cares? You know who cares? Devs, community, and, whether they admit it or not, even complainers. Because a game without long-term goals, without challenges, it gets stale faster than a week-old baguette. You think people are still playing the same old games years later because they're content with just hopping on for a quick match? Nah, mate. They're grinding for something. Camos, weapons, achievements. That's hook. And that's where XDefiant is onto something. Mastery camo grind isn't about cosmetic flair, it's about longevity. Ubisoft laid groundwork for a shooter that rewards players for sticking with it, for pushing themselves beyond first week's hype. It's that long-term engagement, that ongoing challenge that will keep players coming back for more. Because let's face it, once you've played core gameplay for a few months, you need something to work toward. Something that says, yeah, I'm here for long haul. You know what happens when you don't have something like that? People bounce. They get bored. How many games have you seen come and go because they've failed to provide reason to keep players invested? That's why games like Destiny 2, Warframe, and yeah, even Call of Duty stay relevant year after year. Not cause the mechanics are flawless. Hell, far from it. But cause to give players a reason to grind. They got long-term progression built into the DNA. And that's exactly where XDefiant needs to be heading. And trust me, this is just beginning. Ubisoft has already laid out plans for year one content. New factions, new weapons, and God knows what else. They're not just sitting back and letting games stagnate. They're building out a shooter that can stand on its own 2 feet, if community embraces grind and works with devs to make it better. So why does Mastery Camo grind matter? Because it's a sign that XDefiant has a future. It's a symbol of Ubisoft's commitment to giving players something worth working for, beyond just another forgettable shooter in pile. This grind, it's starting a relationship between devs and players, one that rewards patience, skill, and time you put into mastering the game. And don't get it twisted, this grind isn't just some afterthought, it's a blueprint for where the game could go. More mastery challenges, more cosmetics, more ways to differentiate committed players from casuals. It's what'll push XDefiant to compete with big boys in shooter genre. And, if they do it right, it's what'll make it a staple at community. So yeah mate, Mastery Camo grind? It's not just about looking pretty in Battlefield. It's about building a future for XDefiant. One where players stay engaged, where community grows, and we at devs can keep delivering kind of content that makes this game worth sticking with. Stay with grind, support devs, and you'll see XDefiant devolve into something bigger. Something that'll keep you hooked for years to come. And if you're not willing to put in effort, well, don't be surprised if you find yourself left behind. Alright, you magnificent lot. Now it's time to wrap this up with one simple question. Why should you stick around for XDefiant? Why should you invest your time and effort into a game that, let's be honest, some people are still sleeping on? Let me spell it out for you. XDefiant's not just another shooter, it's a shooter with potential. It's not out here trying to beat next Call of Duty no matter what those mouth-breathing whiners are saying. Nah mate, it's doing its own thing. Ubisoft are listening to feedback, tweaking mechanics and actively building a community. Roadmap is loaded with updates. Dev team is engaged, and they're treating this like a long-term project, not a one-hit wonder. Here's the deal. Gaming in 2024, it's all about options. And XDefiant gives you just that. A refreshing, customizable experience that don't pigeonhole you into sweaty matchmaking algorithms or overpriced manipulative stores. You want to grind? There's content for that. You want to hop in and just chill out with some mates for a casual round? They've got you. Whether you're here for grind, objective play, or just to mess around with new faction and gear, this game's got legs, mate. And let's talk about future. New factions, new weapons, better optimization. XDefiant is still in its infancy. The tweaking netcode, polishing rough edges, and making this shooter something that's actually worth your time. Compare that to big franchises who shove out rehashed content every year, slap a new label on it, and act like they've just reinvented wheel. It's like calling pizza a salad because you threw a bit of lettuce on top. Not fooling anyone, mate. But here's kicker. XDefiant is our game. It's a shooter for people tired of corporate money grab that most AAA shooters have become. Yeah, it's got some bugs. Yeah, item store might make you grumble, but it's evolving. It's listening. It's not afraid to admit when it needs to do better. That, my friends, is rare these days. And for that alone, Ubisoft deserves credit. So if you're still on fence, let me put it this way. You're not just playing for a camo or a kill streak. You're playing to be part of a game that's growing, that's experimenting, and that's giving us something fresh. If you stick around for the journey, you're going to be rewarded with a shooter that's going to get industry a much needed boot up backside. Look, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your time, but if you're tired of same old shooters, if you're fed up with games that treat you like walking wallets, the next XDefiant might just be change you need. But you got to be patient, stick around, put in work, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself at forefront of something truly special. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts and gaming stories. Might just feature them on channel. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.